Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, right now we're actually in Prague instead of Berlin. So sorry it's a day late, but we've got the grand final that we can finally talk about here because it was an absolute banger. So I'll be just going through. Of course, I've already watched it in person. I'll be going through for you guys, like the picks, my thought process, you know, why these pros made certain plays. So again, a big shout out to you guys that came to Berlin. Really appreciate you guys. But let's talk about the draft then. So straight away, it's very clear that Chester is very strong in this meta, and normally because there's more problematic brawlers to ban in the meta. Also, a tip in terms of how the pros globally ban, you see a lot of the time, you can see Humble, they globally banned Mina, which Zeta didn't do after watching Angel Boy destroy Crazy Raccoon. And again, like even myself, well, you know, even a lot of EMEA players would have just known that Angel Boy is insane on Mina. So you need to target ban the opposition. So you see as well, Lumi being banned out, Pierce being banned out for Luki. So what a lot of the pros do, Semantic told me going into day number 3, what everyone's been doing with the global bans is just targeted bans, because with your normal bans, you can just target the meta, but you really need the global bans to just target the opponent, what they're good at, what their mains are. So yeah, you start to see that a lot. So Ruff's Kenji, pretty much predicted that myself, because there isn't really a lot more else you can go in terms of, like, again, all the bans. It's took out a lot of the aggressive brawlers, right? And they respond with something. Oh, I forgot what I was thinking in my head. I was thinking of something aggressive. I think Draco was the perfect pick, because you take a look at FUT's composition. Draco and Kenji are both pretty decent into each other. Like, both can just feed supers and hypercharges from each other. But now, since the Kenji hypercharge nerf, which was some time ago, let me skip through this so we can get to the game. You know, Draco's hypercharge is so much better than Kenji's hypercharge now. Like, Draco's hypercharge is so broken. There's actually, in my opinion, not many hypercharges that are, like, really broken anymore. But definitely Draco's is still a tad too strong. Well, it definitely is too strong. You got the same with Chester's hypercharge as well. So they've got two strong hypercharge brawlers. So, I mean, I've been very impressed, by the way, with... Let me up the brightness a little bit. I've been very impressed with Nob overall. Everyone's talking about Angel Boy. Angel Boy has been insane. Like, he's probably the best player in the world at the moment. But Nob, after watching on the coach over to Prague, I watched you know, the quarterfinal, the semi-final game, and I just really didn't give credit to how good Nob is as a player in terms of he was consistently winning lane, sniper versus side tempo. He was just putting up work every single game. So yeah, big shout out to Nob as well. So far in terms of the compositions, again, you can see how Humble are playing things. All three of them just grouping up on the point. None of them are even going into really flank here. They're just making sure that Kenji doesn't get into position, and then the Draco will just take so much space, because Ruffs and thinks they're not going to be able to kill a Draco. They can chip him down. Eventually they will get him down, but just look at the amount of percentages they can get. So Hypercharge going down here eventually flies out, but Boss is just going to be able to get a kill anyway. And Boss is just, again, been playing insane. Literally all 6 of these players are just pretty much faultless, and you hardly ever make any mistakes on the side of either team here. So yeah, the lane goes for the super dead, does miss out, but again, Boss can just walk onto the point. He's got Hypercharge here, and he's just going to decimate everything. So yeah, Boss played this insanely well, but it's such a good Draco game when you think about it. Draco's definitely appeared back into the hot zone meta. I've not really seen him elsewhere, but yeah, I want to really focus on Boss this game, because he was the one that just completely hard carried. You can see how patient these guys were as well. It was insane. It was insane. So got into the next set in terms of, again, overall game plan here. I mean, I think FUT are trying to play it quite similar to Humble here, but the problem is Kenji is not really supporting too much here. You can see as well, he's going to go in and try and get the kill onto Boss after the gadget, and they actually do that pretty well. So a bit better start from FUT. Now Lenane is going to start to go in, but the problem is you're just going to feed the Draco Super, and Draco Super is just going to create more space and just do more work for the point than a Kenji Super, for example. As you can see here, Boss, he's just sitting in and around the zone. He knows that he's not going to be in the world of trouble. He's popping his super here. It doesn't matter about, I think Super's good into Draco shots. It just literally doesn't matter, because it's taken forever for FUT to pinch him out. And to be fair, FUT are playing this really well. They're pinching him out a lot quicker than you'd expect with a Finks and a Ruff. So again, Boss is going to go down, but again, his role is just to get onto the point. he goes down again, but he's got his super on respawn, and FUT aren't really, I mean, you've got to think this is his own time brawler, but outside of that, you know, Ruffs is just chipping. Kenji, you know, Lane's finding it really hard, especially when they're just stacking to really do much. So again, they're just kind of like playing protect boss as much as possible here, Humble. He's going to pop hypercharge and yeah, see you later to Angel Boy. But Nob's going to pop a hypercharge and throw that over, and Lane's going to pick that up. So Kenji hypercharge is going to be pretty good, but going into boss, I think the thing that you want to do against Draco, you need to just try not feed him super here. So you can see here, Lane's just kind of waiting out for boss's super to go out. Hypercharge's going to go out, gets the double pull here, and now he's going to go for boss in behind. So he's going to pop gadget here, but I think Lane's going to be able to, actually no, boss gets the kill in the end, which was very, very clutch. So well played to boss here. He's going to flank in. He's going to eventually go down though, but all that work from boss in behind, I think in the end actually was just delaying a lot of things because he wasn't getting on the point. So I think he actually got a bit distracted there. It seemed he tried to go in behind. It seemed good he got a kill, but whilst he was doing that, it kind of left Semantic and Lukey alone. So yeah, you can clearly see that in the next round, they'll be wanting just to focus the zone as much as possible. See here as well, like I was quite, at first I was like, Semantic is playing it so passive, but I just think that's all he has to do because he can't really confirm kills onto any of them because you've got Angel Boy with the teleport back, you've got Nob with the sandbags, so that's why he's seeing like a really passive Leon game here from Semantic. So yeah, he's just literally sitting here. You know, most time I would be thinking with Leon, just go in behind, like go far right. Surely you want to create some space, but I think he's waiting to get invis like he is here. So finally he's actually gone up a little bit and starting to get some pressure. So I wonder if that's something they spoke about. So he's going to get chipped down there. That's probably exactly why he didn't want to make a play, because Angel Boy's reaction time is just insane. He could just teleport back to that pretty easily. So yeah, the super's gonna go on to, okay, no, looks like that's gonna be left for Linen instead. I'm not too sure why Nob isn't picking that up because he is pretty squishy, but he's got another hypercharge tree anyways. So Linnea's got to pick that up. Hypercharge tree is going to be thrown here. Nob does accidentally pick this up as well. So I think that was definitely a big misplay because that is some utility wasted, because he could have just waited for his hypercharge to end and then picked up the hypercharge tree. Angel Boy goes for the TP play, and that was absolutely insane. That was insane. I thought if he TP'd back into it, he'll just die instantly, but somehow he stayed alive. Hypercharge super going down, completely destroying Nob, and it's just such an interesting hot zone game. Like, you would never see two teams play hot zone like this. It's just constant back and forth on the point. You can see here again, Linane's struggling to take on boss here as Kenji. He is doing his best and he is doing some decent work here, but it's just such a good Draco game. You can see how many supers he is charging up on the point over and over again, and Humble just have such a big lead. But now Linane has this hypercharge super. He's going to try and use that on Lukey. Just get the double hit there. That was really, really clutch there. Gets another super. Basically kills Boss. But Boss now has a hypercharge. Lane goes in and Boss stays alive. And if Boss would have died there, I wonder if the outcome is going to be any different. Hypercharge is popped here. And he's just going to go to town. Luke's going to go to town as well. Just 10% in it. Linane tries to go in. Boss going to pop gadgets, stay alive. Super goes down onto Semantic. And Semantic just gets the kill in time. Like, I don't think it's shown Semantic's reaction there, which I'm quite sad about, but I just remember seeing it from the arena, and Semantic like jumped up, like slammed the desk and screamed. Like, it was just an insane moment. It was absolutely insane. So could anything different have been done there if we rewind that clutch play? I mean, I'm not too sure whether Linane could have done anything differently. Like, it was just very, very close. It was super, super close there. I think maybe if they killed Boss a little bit early, like I said, maybe the outcome would have been a bit different. I don't know. I don't think it probably would have, but it was just insanely close. Such a banger game. Let's jump into the next one. It's set number 2. Then we've got Bridge Too Far. And again, sorry if my voice is cooked, by the way. Yeah, we had an after party and I've been traveling for 5-6 hours on the coach. I'm dead. I'm dead at this point. But 8-bit first pick, which is pretty good. You don't normally see that all the time, but considering the bans and everything, you know, 8-bit first pick is pretty good. Nanny on Bridge So Far has always been seen as pretty good. One thing I was screaming as straight away was into an 8-bit, you have, you have the Edgar. You just literally got Edgar. We've seen so much this Brawl Cup when Edgar was left alone. He can still just win. Like, there's just so many, like in ranked, there's still probably a few too many counters out there. I think the only true counter to Edgar, by the way, is a Chester. And even a Chester still has to play it pretty well against Edgar. I mean, there's like Shelly and a few others that Edgar might struggle against, but you just see Edgar just banned out pretty much all of the time. And I'm just unsure also why people don't just ban Edgar when there's like last pick. Again, it comes down to personal preference. Some teams just think, okay, well, we can just counter Edgar anyway, right? Like, for example here, literally, they went Chester. So Chester, again, the best counter. I was a little bit reluctant though, like for them to go Chester. Like, you normally need a defensive brawler, but the problem with Chester, some other defensive brawlers in Heist, like Otis, I know he's banned out, or I don't know, Colette, or even Charlie, at least if they're actually on the high safe, it can deal quite a lot of damage. You know, Charlie can get close, spam a lot of shots, you got spiders. Otis at range can deal a lot of damage. Amber can deal some damage after defending. Amber wouldn't be a good counter to Edgar, but you know what I'm saying. Chester's still a little bit stuck. So I feel like a good team, you know, your rank randoms probably aren't going to be able to communicate this, but a good team can just basically leave a Chester. You know, you're not going to be scared of a Chester being on your safe, right? So what you'll see a lot from Humble is just to try and run away from Chester as much as possible. And you'll see literally the only role of Chester is just to follow Edgar around. So it's like a cat and mouse game here on Bridge to Far. But I love Bridge to Far because it's just literally all about skills. So they go Melody into Edgar, which is pretty good because most of the time Edgar should just be out in the open and you can just farm super from him and then you can charge up much faster. That should be the strategy. And then they round up the composition pretty well with Belle. So to be honest, I was a little bit more on the side of Humble still with their composition. I thought could definitely win it, but I thought, okay, you've got a Melody into Edgar. You've got Belle on defense and Nanny. Like, that's not the most solid defense in the world. I mean, if Chester plays it pretty well, he should be able to defend it most of the time. So you saw that. I want to rewind that really quick. I won't do this much, by the way. So Semantic actually uses a few pieces of ammo here. You can see 3-4, and he has no ammo. So even if he like reloads 2 out, he's not killing Angel Boy whatsoever. So that's a beautiful play. And then he somehow gets the second kill as well. We didn't get to see that on a split screen. And that just opens the door up straight away. There's already one crack on the safe, and that is just insane from Angel Boy. So again, like Edgar against 8-Bit, it's just a free matchup. There's nothing that 8-Bit can do whatsoever. He can teleport back and delay the inevitable, but Edgar with 2 jumps now, what can you even do? So that is beautiful from Angel Boy again. And you just see this guy is just, he plays brawlers perfectly. It looks easy, but that's just because of how good he is. So look how patient Angel Boy is here. He waits and perfectly times to jump. You might think, oh, that's easy. It's Edgar, he's just jumping over people. Trust me, it's not. Like, it is not easy what this guy is doing on the Edgar. It's insane. It's actually insane. So again, he's not just jumping in. He knows most of the time if he just jumps in, he's going to die. So that's where he makes probably a bit of a mistake there. He jumps in on Semantic, but I guess he was just a little bit corner there. He had to just try something. But he's got his hype charge here. He's got his gadget. I think he just knew anyways that he has gadget upon respawn, so he's fine. So yeah, Lenane has got 4 traps in the middle. No one's going to be able to go through the middle, as it seems. Angel Boy's just going to jump onto Luke again, get the kill. He knows as well he can just run away from this Chester as much as possible. You know, Semantic's going to get a bit of chip damage, but at this point, it's a losing battle. I don't think there's much that Humble can even do. Hypercharge on a safe. Angel Boy's just going to slap the safe a lot, and that's going to be the win. I mean, that was just, I mean, Lenane and Nob were definitely doing their thing, but I was just so hyper-focused on Angel Boy because, you know, he's the one playing Edgar. And that's the one thing that most people watch for, is the playmaker. So I kind of feel bad for people like myself that plays as snipers, whatever. Maybe they're not getting enough credit, but like I can't not point out the plays that Angel Boy is making. So let's see the mid-set adjustments here from Humble. So we see here, again, the strategy, just get the Chester on the Edgar as much as possible. I think Semantic will be thinking straight away, okay, I definitely need to conserve my ammo a little bit better against this Edgar, and he does it much better that time around. You know, Semantic won't make the same mistake twice. He will know, you know, I wasted my ammo the first time. You know, I can't do that because then it's just a snowball effect. Once Edgar keeps cycling super, you know how problematic it can be. So yeah, Lenane's going to still just go for safe damage here. The thing about Nani as well, Nani's just so good at winning its own lane. There's hardly any brawlers that can actually beat Nani lane. When you think about it, I mean, you see Luki get the kill there when Nani's weak, but a good Nani, a pro Nani, will just win pretty much every lane on Bridge to Far because you got the range. And then if Nani's on the safe, that's a lot of damage. You just saw there, like 3-4 Nani shots basically gets a crack onto the safe. You just can't let that happen. So yeah, you can see here, Nob just peeks his shot around the corner and can just get that super kill as well onto Semantic. And it's just perfect gameplay from FUT so far. Angel Boy uses the gadget to, I think he actually meant that because Auto-Aim would have just flung him to 8-bit. I think he actually tried to predict 8-bit teleporting back, but Luki's on a safe, 8-bit's on a safe, and there's not much Humble can really do in terms of defense here. But Angel Boy gets a clutch super, gets the gadget onto Semantic as well, the hypercharge. Yeah, I think he means to, also, I don't know, he just throws that out, and now there is a chance to actually come back here. There's a little small chance, but, you know, Humble are like, do I defend, do I attack? Luki's trying to defend, but also gain his super. Angel Boy jumps on in. Luki's just going to charge forward, 52 health. Angel Boy gets the snipe across the lake. Absolutely insane, and then gets the save down as well. I just remember, I don't remember a moment for a very long time at LAN where everyone was just like, oh, they actually went, wow, like they actually screamed at that. I was mind blown. I was like, if you guys wonder where I was like, another second tier there. But I just want to like, just look at this defense one more time, guys. It was absolutely, that was one of the best Heist defenses I think I've ever seen in my life. It was like, look at that snipe. How does that even snipe him? Again, sorry if I'm annoying you guys. How did that even no, it was a bell shot. I thought Angel Boy sniped him. I'm dumb. I mean, that was that was very clutch. That was very clutch. Okay, that bell shot, 52 health. And then they get it. Okay, this whole time I thought Angel Boy sniped him across the lake. Okay. Either way, it was a very good defense. Right, let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into set number 3, we have Super Beach. So, as you can see by the bands, Shady's band, Griff, Stu, these are all pretty good, like 2 free picks or last picks here from FUT in terms of bands. Colette, Nadja, Crow, that's just very obvious in terms of bands. There's not much to really talk about that in terms of strategy. So, Willow first pick is still pretty good. Again, talking to Semantic in the after party, you're saying, you know, Willow's fine as a first pick. I mean, I don't necessarily like Willow as a first pick most times Super Beach because I still feel like you get ran down quite quickly. But still, with a Willow, you can pretty much be good into everything. You know, it's a thrower on Super Beach that can also defend themselves. Yes, but the way to counter out a Willow is normally just to run at them. And straight away, guys, I've got to say, I don't know whether other people saw it as well. I saw straight away with Humble strategy going Otis and Chesley for, okay, well, some control could beat out Humble here. But then when you think, okay, so if they go Otis Chester, you got to be careful of a tank or, you know, Chester was what I was thinking straight away. I mean, not Chester, Edgar. I was thinking straight away Edgar. You've got to be careful of the Edgar last pick. And this is something that maybe FUT just didn't expect or thought they had enough in their arsenal to defend it. So let's skip through here. And they go with Charlie. So Charlie's not the worst. Charlie's a great counter to like Chester. And pretty decent into Otis as well. I mean, yeah, can pretty much win an Otis lane as well. So they think they've got, you know, Charlie with an anti-tank. They've got Willow that can be pretty good into assassins and tanks. They think they've got all bases covered, but I knew straight away, you know, Edgar's going to be good into Charlie and Willow. I mean, there might be moments where, you know, you're entrapped, but you can use hypercharge. You can use your gadget after, you know, so if Charlie cocoons you, you know, you normally have a super or a gadget. As long as your teammates are backing you up, you should be good. So again, this is still a good draft from FUT, by the way. People thinking BB. Well, BB, again, I got all the draft hacks from Semantic, but Semantic was saying before, I think day 1, he was saying like BB's really good in a hot potato and there's hardly anything you can do into a BB because it's just constant pressure against the walls. So at least BB's still prevalent in a meta. You know, on a map like Super Beach, there's a lot of walls. So they got Edgar in response. Again, I was just screaming Edgar into this because, you know, Edgar's still good into BB now. Like maybe in the past Edgar wasn't, but Edgar definitely is. You know, BB's got 2 knockbacks, but Edgar's got 2 jumps. Like, is this what's going to happen with every single tank and assassin? Like, is every tank and assassin just going to get 2 of their abilities? Like, imagine Primo with 2 knockback jumps. Imagine, I'm just trying to think of an example. So you get what I mean? Like, it's very toxic. I mean, it is fun with Edgar, but it's definitely a bit too much, right? Like it's not just me, right? Like 2 jumps, so fun, but so frustrating to face off against. So Semantic here, he's just going to beeline for Willow. I mean, the dive's going to basically delay the inevitable. And with fisticuffs, you know, it's such a strong buff here. The healing is definitely too much. I definitely underestimated it. I thought, you know, hard landing would be a little bit better, and I was reluctant to change, but after a week, and then I switched to fisticuffs, like, yeah, this is way better. So yeah, if you wonder what the pros go, it's fisticuffs every single time. Maybe against throwers, but throwers aren't meta, so you don't need to just kill them quickly. So yeah, Samantha's going to jump in here. Again, it doesn't matter that he wastes a jump there, because the cooldown on Let's Fly is just so quick that it doesn't matter. So I feel like when Brawl Stars add these buffies, I feel like the cooldown is always a little bit on the short side, just to make sure that these brawlers are good. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's quite clear when I saw the buffies, I was like, okay, short cooldown with Let's Fly, it shouldn't realistically be like 17 seconds, 18 seconds. So I think that's what the nerf will be more than likely. But we see that Semantic jumps in with his hypercharge because we get cocooned, but because of the hypercharge buffy, it now lasts 7 seconds. Even after the cocoon duration, he can still have hypercharge after exiting. So yeah, again, really good, really strong buffies here. So he's going to gadget in, but it doesn't really matter because Nob uses super, but Semantic has another jump. So again, like these brawlers that in the past could be pretty decent into Edgar, they're not always great options anymore. Like they're using their supers up. Semantic's basically like, yeah, I've got 2 of them. So far it's just been all humble at the moment. Their draft strategy has been so good. And to be fair, you think of the actual draft, you think, okay, so you got Willow and Charlie against Otis and Chester. They should be pretty good, but it's just, my eyes are just all on Semantic. He's got the keys to the win here. He needs to be doing his bit, and he's been doing it so far. It's literally all just down to Semantic to carry. You know, Boss and Lukey are doing their thing. They're doing pretty decent, but they're not in the best of matchups. I mean, against BB, yeah, they're pretty good, but this Willow and Charlie are just giving him a rough time there. So great mind control there from Nob. Does actually get wasted out, but that's not really going to do all too much. There's only 5 seconds left, and yeah, there's just no way they can score this. I mean, a few people kind of gasped, but I was like, nah, that's not going to go in, is it? So yeah, let's fast forward this little bit here, and let's see whether they can make any adjustments here. So I think the problem is that Edgar just has such an unbelievably free matchup into this Willow and Charlie, whilst Angel Boy, on the other hand, he's not going to be good into the Chester and the Otis. So it's just like, Angel Boy can't pressure the opponents. The Edgar's dealing with, so realistically, you kind of want BB onto Edgar, but that's also like, where is he pressure going to come from? So I just think it's like a draft masterclass if you think about it. On the face of things, you probably wouldn't think it was being this much of an outdraft, but it's just beautiful. But it's not all but over from FUT. So great cocoon there from Lenane there. Boss nearly actually manages to defend that, so fair play to him. But thought, yeah, they've squeezed a goal in, but I really just still think, you know, Semantic holds the keys. He's got his hypercharge. Is there much that FUT can really do in this situation? I don't know. They're just kind of waiting. A BB can't just, you know, defend and wait with Nob and Lenane this whole time. Semantic gets another jump here, does get knocked back, but Boss and Lukey can just walk this one in. And yeah, that's just a masterclass from Humble. Again, really good strategy. It seems their preparation really paid off there. So I don't know what I would have gone inside of FUT. I still think how they responded to the drafts were okay, but maybe that first pick was something that they shouldn't have maybe gone. A Willow. I don't know. I always question Willow in draft. The pros like it, and it's for good reason, but I just never see Willow win for whatever reason. So yeah, great gameplay there from Humble. Let's jump into the next one. All right, so jumping into the final game here. Also, apologies for like no game sound or no music. Again, I'm traveling, but should get that sorted next time around. And also, let me know whether the mic's all right. I think I'm gonna buy a better mic that like clips on. I know a lot of creators have that, so I'm using an Elgato mic, which isn't the worst, but could definitely be better. So let's take a look at this. So double switch. By the way, I don't want to ruin things if you've not somehow watched it, but this is one of the best gem grab sets I can remember for a very long time. Like the Hot Zone one at the beginning was one of the best set games in a very long time. This one here, one of the best games in a very long time. This just reminds me, a lot of people are like saying, oh, you know, the Humble is just pretty boring if they win everything, right? Or if, you know, EMEA Grand Final is pretty boring. But you just got to appreciate greatness. And if you guys remember, to be fair, like I remember when it was Zeta 1 versus Zeta 0, was it? In Paris. I was like, okay, this is just boring. Like Zeta are just winning everything. And then Zeta EU went to win the next one. So it's just esports and sports in general, right? Like there'll be peaks and troughs, but you know, if Humble win this, they could really cement themselves as a solid trio. So taking a look at this draft overall then, so Kit and Gem Grab, by the way, is just completely broken. I've been saying it for a little while now that it's just insane, and I just don't know how to counter it. I think one of the best counters to the Kit is Sandy, I think. I'm going to have to message Semantic about it because I just don't know how to counter it. Because you don't play Kit as a support brawler. Basically, the way that you play Kit and where a lot of pros get it wrong is that you're just looking to create chaos, but you need to be making plays. You need to be jumping onto the opponents, creeping up, and building up the hype charge. It's all about the hypercharge moment with Kit. So that's what it comes down to with a good Kit player. You saw how Angel Boy played it against, was it Crazy Raccoon? Yeah, it was Crazy Raccoon on Hard Rock Mine. He was playing it exactly like that, going in aggro, making plays, not being afraid to push in, and you just could be sneaky, like Leon, be sneaky. So they go with a Janet here, which again, I pretty much estimated most of their picks. With Nita, a lot of pros love Nita and Gem Grab, and again, whenever I play Nita, I just get the worst games possible. I think with Nita, you need good teammates and good teammates that like help you get control with Nita. Your ranked teammates will never do that. So that's why I hate playing Nita, by the way, because if I was playing it competitively, I actually wouldn't mind it because it looks pretty fun. Because once you build up your hypercharge, you can really cause suffering to the opponents. So yeah, we're going to go M's mid here, which isn't the worst. But Lukey, I think if you guys are unaware, it's like this true blue, true red glitch, I think, with M's, where M's is not back. I mean, that was a risky jump, by the way, by Lenin. It actually gets the kill. But there's like this knockback glitch where one side of things, M's knockback just knocks you back really far. And then sometimes it's really less. But M's knockback was nerfed like some time ago. And then this glitch happens. So it feels like sometimes the knockback is better than the pre-nerf. But you can see here, sometimes it's going to jump in. But again, I don't think he really cares too much about dying here because his job is just to create chaos. I mean, it's Gem Grab. Both teams are just going all out warfare. Like, they're not afraid to make the plays. So Humble have probably gone a little bit too aggressive here, but I just really don't think they all care too much right now about the gems because it is still, you know, it still isn't enough to get the gems. What's even happening? Like, I can't even commentate on this. This is just crazy, like back and forth. You know, Assassin's just making these plays. So Nob does get his hype charge here. So you'd think they're in good position. So I'm thinking straight away, okay, well, why did Nob do that? And let me just rewind back here. I know you guys probably want to see that, but that was a big misplay. And what I spoke to Lane in the after party, it was so close, and that nearly just at the end 295, it nearly cost them the set because he auto aimed it. I mean, I don't think Nob auto aims much at all, and pros trying to auto aim it, but that was nearly a big mistake. He wasn't like overcompensating or getting cocky. That's what I thought at first. I thought, why is he going for the Nita? Like, does he think he can get double kill here? I would have just gone for the M's. The M's was weak. Just get the M's and he would have been fine. So that could have really cost them there. So far, FUT do claw things out. So I think Humble went a little bit too aggressive here. So you can see here, Boss is kind of lurking. He's waiting for an opportunity to build up his bear here, but I think he's going to try and face off against Angel Boy as much as possible. But with Nita, well, with just any brawler into Lily, you want as much health as possible, right? Lily likes it when you're pretty squishy, when you don't have a ton of DPS or close, but Boss, you know, it's pretty tanky on the Nita. And you have the invulnerability frames with the gadget buffy, which is going to really help you out here. So you can see Boss and Luki just pairing up constantly. And then once Angel Boy goes in, it looks like the strategy, but they allow Angel Boy to go in, and then Semantic pounces afterwards. That's normally the counter aggro play is normally the better one overall here. So Angel Boy gets his hype charge. It's all up to him whether he can get a good moment. But Boss and Lukey are just staying together so well. And that's another great jump from Semantic. He does that a few times where he gets the stun by the time Angel Boy uses super. So Boss has his hype charge. Again, needs his hype charge buff. He is one of the best inside of the game, and definitely the thing that's kind of carrying her in the meta right now. I mean, she's only really usable in the bushy gem grab maps right now, but yeah, she's pretty much like hype beta brawler because of that hype charge buffy. But yeah, Humble's sustained aggression there's just been way too much for FUT. You could just see as a team how well they're playing, pushing the opponents back. But hype charge from the name, Semantic does miss that jump, so I'm thinking, okay, this could be a bad moment here. Oh no, that was the missed one there. Okay, no, that was the one. I thought it was the other one. So I think he kind of messed up two Mo's here. So he had a hypercharge and he auto-aimed it and it just went that way. Okay, I think they could have maybe won that one. I completely missed that. I feel like, yeah, they could have maybe got that kill and got out. Okay, that was a really big misplay there. That could have been set number 5 instead. I didn't notice that to begin with, you know. I think that was just a blur. I think that Humble got pretty lucky there. I think that FUT could have stole that with a hypercharge Mo super, and that could have been going to a set 5. Let me know what you guys think as well. I mean, Nob's rarely making mistakes there, but that's just why, as a pro, you need to auto-aim as little as possible. I don't think he'll be auto-aiming Mo supers. There's just some brawlers, by the way, like some supers you can just auto-aim all the time. Some brawlers just have these weird interactions. I think, for whatever reason, I don't know, like, that's probably like a bug or just like weird coding in a way, because surely, or was Luke in the grass? I don't know. It was just a bit weird. Next time, he'll be aiming that Mo super for sure. So now Humble are just one game away from securing things. Semantic meant to jump on top of the Lily Bear, but Angel Boy times that really well. And now FUT are on the aggressive this time around. And with double swoosh, if you can pin the opponents back and get a spawn trap going, you're going to win the game most of the time here. So again, Semantic's going to run up here. Does force out the super from Nob. Angel Boy gets the kill onto Boss. And you're thinking in this position, Humble are in the world of pain here. But Angel Boy goes in here, wastes a gadget. Nob didn't heal up, does get pretty weak. He has to fall back. I think Angel Boy does click his hype charge button there, which is, again, a lot of wasted utilities. These small little plays, again, like, we're literally scrutinizing these pro players on the smallest of things. Semantic's going to jump in here. And again, at first I was thinking, why is he just jumping in there? He's going to die. But it's all hypercharge. It's all about farming a hypercharge. So he doesn't matter at the moment. And by the way, like, Lukey's gem management, it's small things. He's just playing M's, an easy brawler, right? But he somehow has 7 gems, even though FUT has had control majority of the game. I'm just like, what? What is even happening right now? So Semantic, he's going to be lurking with this Lily. He's going to defend and get the jump. So again, does interrupt at the perfect moment. I don't care about yellow battery. I mean, hopefully we can survive this one. 9 gems going away. FUT, though, it's looking good for FUT. They've got control again. Nob's in a position to pinch quite heavily here. So Semantic's going to get the kill onto Nob. Now Angel Boy's going to be forced to wrap around. Hypercharge going to be lurking pretty soon. Semantic gets the kill again. Hypercharge being forced out. Great kill from Lanane. And this is just, I've nearly lost my voice at this point. Like, what is even going on? It's just constant back and forth. Both, like, you keep thinking, oh, FUT are going to win it. Oh, Humble are going to win it. But Hypercharge lurking here. All Humble members are lurking. They get that 1 gem. They still need another. Angel Boy has to use his gadget. And this, by the way, by Semantic is insane. We saw it as as watchers, because obviously we can see where the thingy goes. But Angel Boy misses that Hypercharge super again. And at this moment, you're just like, okay, this is completely over. Semantic gets the super onto Nob and Humble win it. I mean, I just want to quickly like zoom back and we can see the reactions. Just look at this play by Semantic. You would think that's really easy to make. That's why Kit's hype charge is just broken. So you see here, he's just lurking. Angel Boy picks up that gem. You'd think that's an okay play, but he gets pinched down really easily. You can see there, Juke's there to miss that attack. And that allows him to get the timing onto Lanane. And Lanane was a bit harsh on himself when I spoke to him. He said, oh, that's just an unk reaction time. Not about, he couldn't react to that. It doesn't matter how good you are. There's no chance he would have reacted with his gadget to evade that Kit hypercharge. No chance, because he, like, that was just, it's not even luck. I mean, some people might say it's maybe a tad bit lucky, but that's just insane gameplay from Semantic. Jukes out both attacks, doesn't get scouted out, and then makes the play. Really well played there from Humble. So yeah, they just seem to clutch up all the time on LAN. I mean, big props to them. They're just absolutely insane. I predicted Humble to win. I didn't upload it on my second channel, but you saw my predictions anyway. I predicted Humble to win. It's not exactly the boldest prediction. Most people predicted Humble or Crazy Raccoon to win it, but I just thought after watching the scrims, watching the preparation, I just still thought that Humble looked the best, and they seemed to put that pre-match arena tournament behind them, losing 3-0, and yeah, fair play to them. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. My next video is a pre-recorded one, and that'll be a pretty fun one. And then after that, I'll be home Thursday. So yeah, I'll be back with the bangers. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.